Something is on my screen. Let me quickly see. You can now pin. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Something was on my screen. I needed to understand it. Good evening. How are you doing? It's time for our live on Friday, and this month is all about empathy. And today we are going to talk about empathy in parenting, how to cultivate empathy in parenting, what empathy even means in parenting, and all. At the end of today's class, I that you able to understand what empathy actually means, how important it is in parenting, and how you can cultivate empathy in your parenting. You're also going to learn about, oh, hello ma, welcome ma. You're also going to learn about practical scenarios that you need empathy in your parenting. So it's going to be very empowering. I promise you. All I need you to do is, as usual, get your pen, get your writing materials, and let's go right into talking about empathy. Sorry, let me bring this closer so that I can be brighter. Sorry, I hope I'm brighter now. Okay, sorry. So at the end of the day, it is going to be highly empowering. Like I said, all I need you to do is to get your writing materials for you to take notes. And at the end of taking notes, you are going to take action. That is what matters. If you follow me long enough, you know that if you're in the Visionary Parent Academy, you know that I keep singing, take action. If you do not take action, nothing is going to work. Having empathy or cultivating empathy in your parenting doesn't mean your children will not do what they do. No. Being emotionally intelligent doesn't mean your children will not still misbehave. No. It will give you a perception. It will make you respond with knowledge. You will respond with reason. You will be able to respond appropriately. That is what matters the most. Now, this empathy is like an extension of the class we had last month, how to become an emotionally intelligent parent. If you attended that class, you are agreeing that it was highly empowering. So it is part of it, because at the end of your stay in the Visionary Parent Academy, we expect you to be in charge of yourself to a reasonable extent. And nobody can have it 100%, but we expect you to be very good to go, to be confident in your parenting. Okay, for the non-visionary members who will be privileged to watch this video with us, my name is Enine Orebo, and I'm the lead coach at the Visionary Parent Academy. This video is actually brought to you by the Visionary Parent Academy. It's an academy where parents come together, they craft their vision, they start by crafting their vision, they set their goals, they get empowering tools to be able to achieve their vision at the end of the day. The Bible says, I'm a Christian, and the Bible says, train up your child in the way he should go. And when your child is old, he would never depart from it. So we believe in training our children in the way they should go. We believe that, yes, when you put in the work, you get the result. Why will you not get the result? Why? You will get the result. Why will you not get the result? Really? I sat down recently and I started looking at why we will not get results. And I realized that one of the major factors will not get results may be, even the Bible acknowledges the fact that evil communication corrupts good manners. That may be the reason why we will not get results if our children are not privileged to meet people of like minds. And I said to myself, that is an opening. We also need to deliberately look at how we can cover, how we can close, really. So when you put in the work, I am confident that you put in the work, you get the result. I do a lot of research. I research on so many people, success stories. When I mean success stories, I just don't mean success, economic success. I mean success in different aspects of life, talking about personal success, spiritual success, marital success. And I realized that it takes work. When people put in the work, they get the result. It is what it is. So when we put in the work, we are going to get the results. God will bless the work of our hands. He will bless the work we are putting into it, and we'll get the results. So let's not deviate too much. It's all about empathy, how to parent with empathy. So what is empathy? Let's start. If you are flowing, if you are following, you can just, anything that resonates with you, do what to type it in the comment section. You want to define empathy for us, is okay. Type it in the comment section. Anything. Excuse me, who's there? So anything, type in the comment section. So let's look at what is empathy. Now, before I even go into there, if you're a visionary parent, you know that it's our month. We are looking at empathy this month. We are looking at seeking to understand, asking to know and not assuming is what we are doing this month. And one of the things we are big on is carrying our children along, carrying our children along. And so one of the things we do to carry our children along is to create 30 days challenge for you to also teach them the same topic. So we expect you to introduce the topic to them and give them 30 days challenge. And we have started already on our 30 days challenge. We started the other day or yesterday or so, which was in second. And I do hope that you are giving your children the challenge every single day. You carry it out yourself, you give it to them. They're just small things. It's not going to change anything about them. Rather, it's not going to change the way they live their daily lives, like going to school. It's not going to stop them from going to school. It's not going to stop them from having their snacks and all of that. It's just like extra, just stretch themselves extra a bit. So this month is kindness challenge, for example. Just remind them to be kind every day. And I said to myself today, I even told my children that we are going to look at the Bible, bring out 30 Bible passages each a day. For any time we are having a challenge in the academy, we have 30 Bible passages each a day for our Christian parents, each a day for us to read. You can read on the drive. You can read as soon as you get back. You can read first thing in the morning, just to like reinforce the challenge, the lessons you're having for the day, putting yourself in the shoes of. Fantastic. Thank you so very much, Ma. Yes, let's go right into it. Defining empathy. It simply means putting yourself in the shoes of others. See, I don't know how to explain this. I wish I could break this empathy down so much that we will literally be seeing it and feeling it. We will understand it. Because let me share my quick story. I remember when I was pregnant, when I had my first, I have 3 kids, by the way. When I had my first and second child, I did not feel pain. You know when they say labor pain, I did not feel one single labor pain. I don't know how to explain. I remember when I was going to have my first child, I just, my water broke and that was it. If not that my mom, because I didn't really attend antenatal to get lessons, to get their how to get things done or signs of that you want to give birth. I just relied on the signs of on Nollywood. When the woman wants to give birth, they start saying, that was the signs I relied on. So unfortunately, mine did come that way. My water broke and I was like, my husband was like, hey, let's go to the hospital. I said, no, now let's chill. Thank God I'm not a super stubborn person. If I was a super stubborn person, or maybe I would say God was with me, because God actually literally, when you just do things, you are not paying, you are not conscious of what you are doing. That was how I picked my phone to call my mom. My mom now said, go to the hospital. She didn't tell me, say, go to the hospital, go to the hospital. I go to the hospital and doctor said, you are in labor. I said, labor, okay. Labor, no pain now. I was expecting all those dramatic pain, Nollywood dramatic pain. I didn't feel any pain. So that was my first experience, my first child. No pain, nothing, until the following day, doctor came to induce me. And it was just that, after inducing me, just like less than 15 minutes, before proper pain will even come. Maybe I had jumped out. My daughter was the same thing. So I remember telling my husband, I say, see, I see people, pregnancy, labor, a lot of drama happen. I say, if I do not experience labor pain, I will not believe that labor is painful. No, painful. No. How will I believe? Maybe me, I have 2 kids already, no single pain. So you are telling me that you go through pain. How is it even? I cannot believe, that labor is painful. Even now that people crave pregnancy cravings and all of that, I find it, I sometimes I feel these women, maybe some of them actually want to take advantage of their husbands. That is what I feel, because I didn't have all those extra, I didn't have any drama, no cravings, nothing like that really. So it is why it is not easy for me to say, somebody says, I'm passing, somebody's cooking party rice, that's the food that I want to eat. It doesn't make sense to me, because I have never been in that shoes. I don't know if you are getting me. I also remember watching the movie back then. The woman lost her son, or the husband lost her husband to, I think, robbers or something like that. And when the police came to her house, they were telling her, oh, madam, and take heart, I know exactly what you feel. And the woman told them, have you ever lost a spouse before? And they said, no. And the woman said, have you ever lost a child? They said, no. So you don't know how I feel. You can only imagine. That is it. Empathy is you being able to not just Put yourself in a person's position. Know exactly how that person feels. You know exactly how that person feels and be able to respond to that person based on the fact that you know exactly how that person feels. Fortunately for us, like I was saying, if you have not been there, you will not know. I remember when Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was campaigning for election, he said, I had no shoes on. I had no shoes on. I remember, if you remember that, I had no shoes on. Why was he saying that? He wanted to let us know that has been he has been there, even the poorest, the most wretched of all. He has been there, so he can know the pain of the people. I feel your pain because I have been there. I have been on the street. I have walked barefooted. I have been there. That was why he was saying, I had no shoes on. You know, that's what they say, democracy, government from the people, the government of the people, by the people, leave all that one. My own inside is from the people, the government who comes from the people. It is why in democracy we expect so much. We expect so much because the government is supposed to be from the people. That is, who has been there before, who feels the pain of the people, who experienced bad roads, who experienced no water, who experienced inflation. The government has been there. He knows the pain. Unfortunately, it is not the reality. It's not the so much reality, you know. A lot of people really are not there, like the way I was almost not there with my labor pains. But when it comes to parenting, it's a different ball game. You have been there. You were once a child. It is the advantage we have when it comes to parenting. You were there. I tell my children I was once 7, I was once 10, I was once 12. So you can never grow and come and outgrow me. It is not possible. In fortune, of course, you are going to outgrow me. That's my prayer. In success, but in age, in chronological age, even in mental age self, you can research and all of that. But you see, in chronological age, I have been there. So every single thing you have passed through, I have passed through it. Name it. It may not be in the exact manner, but I have passed through. That is the advantage we have in parenting. So empathy now as a parent is the ability for you not to wear theoretical shoes. You know, we say it's the ability for you to, okay, like a parent said, it means wearing another person's shoes. Absolutely. It's not just to wear an imaginary shoe. It's not shoes. It's not to wear practical theoretical shoes. Empathy is the ability for you to go back to your child and put yourself, when you say put yourself in your child's shoes, go back in time to that particular time that your child is right now. You go back. You are not just wearing the shoes, you are going back mentally in your brain. You remember, I was once 7. This exactly was what happened when I was 7. Because the truth of the matter is, I put on Facebook some time ago. If you're not following me on Facebook, you need to follow me on Facebook. Sometimes I put really, I'm trying to increase my should I say content post to make more impact. So if you're not following me, this is the best time for you to follow me. I put something on Facebook one time. I say, see, the things you complain about your child, there's every likelihood that you also did them as a child. You know why? Because your child may have inherited your temperament, which is 90%, which is, okay, let me not say 90, which is 60-70% a possibility. So which means if your child got your temperament, it simply means that your child will behave most likely the way you behaved as a child. So which simply means that even if your child did not inherit your temperament, you had siblings, your parents, your child definitely inherited temperament of someone. So everything your child is displaying right now, you have experienced it firsthand. You have experienced it firsthand. Earlier today, one of my elder sisters reached me. She had concerns about her daughter, teenager. She's 17. She had concerns about her, and so she called me. So the older son who is in the university coincidentally visited home. When she called me, she was speaking with me. I heard her son telling her, "Mommy, why are you calling your sister now? That's how you will call you will call your sister. You called the other one. You called the other one." She was not telling this son, "No, I'm not calling anybody. She's the only one I'm calling because I know I can depend on her. I know she can come through. She's the only one I'm calling." I heard the son telling her exactly the same way we felt when we were growing up. When I was talking to my niece, exactly what I told my niece. When I was talking to my sister, exactly what I told my sister. I said, "Do you remember when Daddy was saying all these things to us? When mommy was saying all these things to us? Do you remember how we were feeling? It is the same way your child is feeling. My niece is feeling right now, the same way. What? Because my niece was saying that I don't know why she's worried. I don't know why she's concerned. I don't even understand what I'm doing that she's not comfortable with. I don't understand." And she was telling me a lot of things. This is what she does. She's not doing this. She's doing that and all of that. I told her exactly what my parents were complaining about back then. So when I was telling my niece, I told her that, you see, your mom has been there too. Your mom has been there before. She's been there. She's walked down this road. She's not happy with the results she got because she didn't listen to her parents. So she's trying to prevent you from making some mistakes that she made at your age. I'm just trying to explain empathy to you. Firstly, the son was saying, "Mommy, why are you calling your sibling?" The same way we didn't like it back then. You are calling. I thought I was going to call her back. I after the whole thing, because I spoke with my niece, I was going to call my sister back. We spoke today over a different matter. I'm going to call her back and tell her, "See, I understand you called me because I can come through. Yes. But you see, we never liked it when mommy will say anybody that comes to the house, mommy will say they will start reporting, start talking. We never liked it. It was one thing that we never liked. So bear in mind that your child too will not like it. Your child too will not like it. So don't talk to people because you just want to talk. If you feel you want to talk, then go and talk to God, or go and talk to maybe a professional. If the person you are talking to will not bring solution, if the person cannot come through, don't talk about it. Don't gossip with your children. Don't make friends with your children's issues, because it is highly breaking and demoralizing. Anyways, I think I've done enough introduction, because I always say I don't want my classes to be long and they end up being long. I do a lot of talking, so I'll try to bring it short today. So let's talk about empathy. Empathy simply means the ability for you. I have explained it's not just ability it's ability for you to literally feel your child's pain, understand your child's position, know what they are going through. That is empathy. For you to say, okay, okay, this is it. If I was in these shoes, a visionary parent, we were talking the other day, she was telling me about her son. She registered her son for in an academy, and the son was actually enthused about it at the initial stage. But suddenly, the son didn't want to go again. And so she had exhausted all possibilities. Is he abused? Is he this one and all? But when she was talking, even though she didn't say that, I knew those were her fears. Like, okay, why does he not want to go again? And then she now said, the previous week, they didn't go because they couldn't go. So this week now, the son doesn't want to go. And that was it. Because I was able to say, if I was a boy, why would I not want to go? And so when she mentioned that, I said, that is it. It's possible that good evening, ma. Good evening. Welcome, ma. It's possible that, you see that the break that was there between, he was excited. He's been excited about it. So the break that was there, how break can come in and just take away everything. Kind of reduce our interest, reduce that high spirit. Like when you go on leave, you come back, things you used to be enthused about, you literally are dragging. Like when schools resume, they are not just going into the teaching immediately. They kind of, even if they want to teach immediately, but there is a kind of dragging. They want to exercise the children. They want to bring them back fully into the class. It's exactly what happens. But hey, if she wasn't aware, if she wasn't in the Visionary Parent Academy, she wasn't intentional, trying to be intentional in her parenting, she may have said, you don't want to go, you are being stubborn, and the next thing to be smacking, to be yelling, and all of that. It is empathy. You pause and ask yourself, okay, if it is me, why would I not want to go? if it is me, why would I say? I usually was very excited about attending this my curricular class. So why would I just wake up and say I don't want to go? That is empathy. Imagine yourself in that situation and find out reasons that would have influenced the choices that your child is making. If you were your child, what reasons would have influenced your choices? That is empathy. So let's look at the importance of empathy when you are able to put yourself in your child's shoes, when you're able to understand your child. First thing is, I'm going to share this to the visionary parent. Of course, you know that materials we use, I share. So I'm going to share it with you, and you can also use it and read it more further. And if you need to teach one or two parents along, we do tag along. We expect that you're able to tag other parents along. You see parents, you just share what you know with them. Hopefully, you can make one parent more with vision. So I will share this with you as usual. So importance of empathy. When empathy helps you understand your child's needs. Absolutely, empathy helps you understand your child's needs. You understand exactly what your child is going through. You understand what your child is feeling and everything. That is empathy. And when you have this understanding, you are better able to handle it. That is the root cause. Empathy helps you get to the root cause. You understand exactly what your child is feeling. Another thing is empathy helps you build connection. You know how this works? Magical. It's something like, it's as if this person reads me, my mind. It's as if this person knows me in and out. What happens? That person is very comfortable with you because you know them. You are not judging them. You understand them. You understand where they are coming from, what they are feeling and everything. That person, then even if it's not your child, your spouse or people around, you can build connection with people by simply building empathy, simply being able to empathize with them. So it helps you build connection. It teaches emotional intelligence. Yes, you are able to teach emotional intelligence to your children because you are not concluding, you are not jumping into conclusion. No, rather you are taking your time. You are actually getting to the root of the issue. Empathy resolves conflicts peacefully. Absolutely, because you understand exactly what is going on and you are able to put yourself in your child's shoes. You are able to resolve conflict easily, and that's one of the things empathy does. Let me explain this in a practical term. For example, you have a child, you have your kids, maybe they are bickering with each other. Now, you are not just going to start saying this way, and all of that. No, you are not just going to jump in. You want to understand, first of all, how are they feeling? What is going on? Okay, what is going on? This one said, and she took my pen without my permission and all of that. That is it. Took your pen without your permission. How does that make the child feel? If it's you as a parent, someone takes your item without your permission, how does it make you feel? That way you can understand exactly how your child is feeling. Now remember, you may say, oh, it's an ordinary pen, but an ordinary pen to you, to what is ordinary to you, the book we are reading for this month, Parenting with Love and Logic, the man said something that is very profound. He said, you see, your children, if you don't allow them to face the consequences of their actions. Now remember, as they are in their small age, they don't have opportunities to make big decisions. Small decisions they are making. Those small decisions, they have small consequences. So the more you allow them face those small decisions and make small decisions and face the small consequences, as they are growing older, they are learning about consequences of actions. Because the older you get, the bigger your decisions and the bigger the consequences. So that is why from small, you allow your children to learn. When they learn from small, that learning from small is teaching them that every decision has consequences. So when they get to the big one, they would have known how to make better decisions. So they would avoid the big consequences because they have learned it from small. So I'm trying to I'm not talking about consequences now, but I'm trying to say that, so small things we think, oh, it's not relevant to us. It is what is relevant to them. It is what is relevant to them. So when you understand that, you now remember, when I was 5 years, when I was 6, when I was 7, when I was 12, this pen was a big deal to me. And if someone takes it without my permission, it's actually going to upset me. So you want to say, okay, your child is actually he's right. His emotions are valid. Being upset is definitely is something valid. So you now want to help them resolve their conflict, understanding that he has a right to be upset over that. So you are not downplaying it. Another thing that happens is reduces behavioral issues with children. Yes, because when you empathize with your child, you are able to build connection with them. And once you build connection with them, connection actually reduces behavioral issues in children. Having connection with your children, that is just the truth of the matter. When you have connection with your children, they are going to reduce misbehaviors drastically. It's something, no, I've said it a million and one times here. It's something, it's just natural. Someone you are loyal to, you don't want to offend them. That's one of the things. When you have connection with your children, they are loyal to you, so they don't want to offend you. That's one reason that their misbehaviors will be minimized. Another reason is when you have connection with your children, it's easy for you to influence them, because they know that to build connection with your children takes a whole lot of exercises and things you need to put in place. And in the process, they learn that everything you do is for them. You are doing things for their own good because you love them, you respect them, you value them, you treasure them, you want the best for them. Because of that, it's easier for them to actually want to obey, follow, think about you before they actually do the things they do. Or better still, it's easier for them to do what is right that you have taught them. That is what happens. These are some of I just mentioned 5 importance of empathy in parenting. Now I have 6 here. I'm going to share the book with you, so you look at the 6th one and you take action. You understand 6 importance of building empathy. Empathy is a must in parenting. It's one of the major tools you need in your parenting. When you have your empathy, everything, your parenting is going to be a lot easier, because so many things you jump into conclusion, so many things you do, you are just going to minimize them naturally because of empathy. Let's go into steps of, is this supposed to be the next thing? Okay, let's go into steps to empathy. Steps to empathy. One of the very first things you need to do is to be self-aware, because one of the things that jump into the way of our ability to empathize with our children is how we feel, our emotions. If you don't commit to self-care, I've talked about self-care over and over again. Your mental self-care, your physical self-care, we need to commit it. A lot of things are always, let me use the word, doing us. We are always under pressure, physical pressure, mental pressure, a lot of things. It is where we need to commit to self-care. That is it. So always be self-aware. Start by being self-aware. Be mindful of your feelings and your biases. Yes, we talked about this in the emotions mastering class. Always know exactly how you are feeling. The things around you will impact your feelings. The things you put inside you will impact your feelings. Understand what you are feeling. Know that the way you are feeling is going to make you know, because for you to be able to empathize with your child, you need to realize that it is not an emergency. And your feelings will always make you jump into see things as urgent. Your feelings will, if you are not in a right frame of mind, you are not going to be able to pause. So it is why every now and then you always need to pause and process yourself. Ask yourself, how are you feeling? Be very conscious of yourself. That's what I want. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Always be conscious. Be aware of yourself. When you are doing something, be aware. There is no time for you to be lost in thoughts. There's no time for it to be automatic. Be aware. Do the things you want to do deliberately. Make sure the things you are doing, you are intentional about, you are deliberate. You know what you are doing. You are doing something because you actually want to do it. That is it. You are not yelling at your child because you couldn't control your emotions. No, you yell at your child if that's what you choose because you want to do it. Like maybe you just said, I want to yell at you. That's why I'm yelling at you. Not because you are just jumping into emotions. You can't control yourself. No. I'm not saying yellow. I'm just using that example, for lack of better example. So always be conscious of what you are doing. Be aware every single time of your environment, of what is going on, of what you are doing, of how you are feeling. It is something that will help you a great deal. Sometimes you just feel, oh, right now I'm feeling defensive. Like a friend of mine one time, someone made a comment under my post a long time ago, and she was just attacking the person. I know the person made an off comment, and she just went, instead of, because she is usually very calm, very polite, put together, and so instead of her to just respond to the person the way I knew her to be, I expected her to be, she was just giving the person gbas. So the thing got me worried, and I called her. I said, babes, what is going on? She now said that, I woke up this morning telling myself that anyone that comes my way, I'm going to give it to them. I said, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You woke up this morning and told yourself that anyone that comes my way, I'm going to give it to them. So even though she was giving the person gbas, she actually knew exactly what she was doing. So that is the first thing I want to tell you. Please always be aware. It is why during the emotions mastering class, I gave you something for you to be aware. Something I did back then in Lagos. It helped me a great deal. Just write a short mantras, catchphrases that will help you be aware of yourself. Put them in different locations. Like we have inspirational board. We have inspirational board in the Visionary Parent Academy. If you have not done your own, please, you need to create your own. Just put short things there. Every time, just go there. Always teach your children, go there every time. Just put something. It can just be anything. You see that they are struggling with one thing or the other, they are struggling with a particular thing, you just write the positive side. Maybe you have a child who is not like my 7-year-old now. He is not very social skilled. That's something that is natural with him. So I'm learning, like we gave the task we had yesterday was give compliment to at least 3 people. He didn't give anybody compliment. When I went to pick him, he said, Mommy, I didn't compliment anybody. And I knew why, because he struggles with that a bit. So something like that, you can just write a short phrase for him, just put on your inspiration wall, and each time he passes, he reads it. The same thing for you. You can just have something in your kitchen, have something there that will always remind you. Be conscious of yourself. Now, here's something I just started doing recently. Okay, where's my other phone? Something I just started doing recently. You see your phone, you can set alarm for every 1 hour, every 30 minutes. You can set 100 alarms for the day. So each alarm, set it and put something. You can say 7:30. By 7:30, your alarm will ring. When you check the alarm, it tells you it's not an emergency. That would help you stay conscious for the next 30 minutes. Another 30 minutes, your alarm goes off. Or for example, the time you are coming back home from work, and you know that, okay, when I get to my house, I open the door, the house is always messed up. What am I going to do? Just set it as your alarm. You know that, okay, I usually get home between 4:30 and 5 p.m. every day. That's when I return from work. So what you are going to do, set your alarm for that 4:30 you return from work, so that as you are about entering the house, your alarm goes off and you see what it is. It is maybe I'll give you a list of mantra. Okay, I have a list of mantra in the book. You can get that book. The one I use for the emotions mastering class is just a token. You can get it for a token. Name your price token. You get it. If you were in the class, if you were not in the class, it's 2,000 naira. You just get it. We have very many mantras there. You can just put them on your alarm. put them every 1 hour, every 30 minutes. You just pick the alarm, you see it, your alarm goes off, you see, okay, my child is only acting his age, or I'm a confident parent, or I'm a calm parent, or I'm parenting with a vision, or I'm raising legends, I'm raising royalty, I'm raising superstars, I'm raising celebrities. Every time your alarm goes off, you pick up your phone, you see what the alarm reminds you of what you are doing in your parenting. It keeps you conscious for the next couple of is it minutes? Yes, depending on how long you set your alarm. I'm still talking of mindfulness, being self-aware of your emotions. So use this alarm. I'm going to talk about it again in the academy. Okay, because this I use alarm to set my every 1 hour, so that when I'm being derailed, I'm being distracted. You know how it can be. Sometimes you just pick your phone, you want to send something on social media, then you see it, say, let me respond to this message. Before you know what is happening, you realize you have spent 2 hours. So in order for me not to get lost in it, I just set my alarm every 1 hour. I remind myself what I need to do. So if I'm spending too much time and my alarm goes off, I remember, I've wasted 30 minutes of my time. I drop my phone and I move on. So using it to track using it to be more self-aware just came here now. It's just an inspiration I just got here now. So I'm going to write it down, even use it for myself, and talk about it in the academy more. So that is the first you need to do. You need to always be aware of yourself. Now, the next step to parenting with empathy is active listening. Active listening. Hey, we can't talk about this enough. If you don't listen, how would you know? If you don't listen, how would you know? You will not know, you will just assume. So we must learn to listen. Listen. Active listening is number 2. It is must. It is a must. It is compulsory. You must learn to listen. How do you listen? You make eye contact. If you're making eye contact with your child, you cannot be going to your phone. You are not making eye contact. Remember, active listening, you must make eye contact. So making eye contact simply means that you are not going to put your phone to be doing your phone. Like I said this morning in the Visionary Parent Academy, if you know that, okay, I'm very busy, I don't have time right now to listen to my child, you can tell your child, give me a minute. Like what I do to my children, I just put 2 fingers up like this, just 2 fingers. With these fingers, they know that, okay, they wait for me for a minute, and I'm definitely going to put what I'm doing away to answer them. Or sometimes they are coming close to me, I just use my if I'm doing something, whatever I'm doing, I use one hand to pull them to me like this, and I when I do that, they know that I want them to give me a bit of time. Then when I wrap up with what I'm doing, I just listen to them. Active listening. When you listen actively, you make eye contact. You use body language, like you are nodding, like you are shaking your head, like you are trying to digest what they are saying, like, oh, you are surprised, like you are excited. Use your facial body language to let your child know that you are listening, and listen for it. These things are not fake. You are not faking them. I'm not saying go and fake them. I'm actually saying listen, because when you are listening, really, you are not going to be, these things are just going, your facial expression is going to come naturally. So if your facial expressions are not coming naturally, it could be that you are not listening. So listen, and ask open-ended questions. When you are listening, you are asking questions. Okay, you listen to understand. One of the things we do when we listen is, we do not listen to understand, we listen to respond. It is what it is. We are very good at that. It's a common thing we do. We listen to respond. We don't listen to understand. So I'm telling you, listen to understand. Most times, that is one of the reasons we are close-minded. We are not open to learning. You already have a set mindset. You have something, your mind is fixed. So even when someone is saying something, you already have the response you want to give. I remember I was talking to a parent here in my new neighborhood. She was telling me, why are you just leaving the house? I said, okay, my children's school is less than 5 minutes drive. I remember, if my husband is taking them to school, my husband, under 7 minutes, my husband has gone and come back. So it's when I am the one taking them to school, I spend like 20 minutes. You will say because I'm a snail driver, I spend like 20 minutes. So it's not supposed to be, it's just like 3, 4, 5 minutes drive to school. That is it. However, you have to, is a trackable distance. It's just that we go and pass a major express road, so which is definitely a no-no. So because of that, we do driving to school and back. So she was telling me, it's almost 7:30. You are just leaving for school. Don't go and teach your children late don't go and teach your children to be late, because her school is very far and her children's school is very far, maybe about 30 minutes drive. In order to beat transport, they leave traffic, they leave as early as 6:45 to 7 o'clock. So I was telling her that one of the reasons my children back in Lagos, they used to go to school early. Punctuality is one of the things, because I'm a rush hour person. I'm a naturally a rush hour person. So I don't want to teach my children rush hour. Because I don't teach them. So because of that, punctuality is key on my list, on the things I had to unlearn, sabotaging things I had to unlearn and relearn. Punctuality, you remember in the emotions mastery class, we talked about this. Your self-sabotaging habits, you don't want to pass them to your children. You need to identify them and begin to unlearn them. Deliberately create a structure to unlearn them. I've talked about this. We talked about this in the emotions mastery class, and I know that I talk about it all the time. So my own is rushing, at the 11th hour, working under pressure. That is me. Sometimes it's as if I'm not, the thing don't click until I'm pressured, even when I'm trying to do things, I'm trying to create lessons for classes and things like that. It's 11th hour that I'm always, but I know that is not proper. So I was trying to tell her that one of the things that happens is we are new here, and I don't want my children to go to school super early. They will not be the only one in school. I don't know what can happen. I don't know about this environment. I've heard of security molesting children. I've heard of teachers molesting children. No. So I want them to get to school when other children are already in school. Some children are already in school. It's easy for me. I'm more comfortable because I'm still getting to know this place. And then she kept saying, don't go and teach them late coming. Don't go and teach them late coming. I was asking myself, is this woman listening to me? My school is less than 5 minutes drive. We are leaving the house before about 7:20, 7:28, which means no matter what's happening on the road, I'm going to get to the school 7:35, and the assembly doesn't start 7:45. That's how we leave the house every day, 7:22, 23. That's how we leave the house, and we get to the school before 7:30. I was trying to explain to her, and she kept hammering on that. So I just smiled and I thought, okay, thank you, because I realized that she had what she had in mind. That was what she was coming to say. So she wasn't listening at all. That is it. Many times that's what we do in talking to our children. We already have assumed a position. We have assumed what is happening. So because you have assumed, when your child is coming to talk to you, you are not listening to understand what they are saying. Instead, you are waiting for them to pause and tell them what you have in mind. No. In active listening, when you listen actively, you will actually get a clear understanding. And at the end of the day, you may know you are 90% of the time, what you have in mind is not what you are going to say. Why? Because you have listened actively. So if whenever you are talking to your child, you have a made-up mind and you still respond from your made-up mind, it simply means one thing: you are not listening actively. Because if you listen actively, you cannot always be wrong. 90% of the time, you cannot be wrong. It is it. This morning, my older son was in, because he wakes up 5 a.m. He has a class, he has a mentorship class he attends. He attends the class for like 5-10 minutes. He does his chores in the morning before the siblings will wake up, because they used to prepare their food for breakfast. But because we don't have light and we bought alternative light source, I bought a lot of alternative light source and all of them have gone bad. So we almost use my phone as torchlight and just one. Because of that, these days I also do their cooking. So until we are able to get solution to lights where I can sleep and enjoy my simple life while they sort themselves out and stuff like that. So the younger ones, they wake up later than him. So this morning because he does his things with a bit of time. It takes a bit of time. So it's what we are working on, speed. So this morning he was upstairs, and I know that one of the issues he has is Distractibility. When he gets up now, he draws a lot. He sees his drawing. Drawing, when he draw by himself, will not take the drawing again and be admiring it. He may not admire, when he's admiring it, he will not have an idea, okay, maybe I should have drawn it this way. Maybe I should draw another thing. Before you know what is happening, he would have spent 30 minutes in that room doing nothing, admiring his drawing or trying to repair what he has drawn before, trying to draw another one. That is it. So like this morning, when he was in the room, my mom was telling me, this boy don't go carry a drawing. I don't look a drawing. Don't, he will forget, say he ought to have done everything, because I expect him to tidy his room and do his chore, which was sweeping, come assist a bit in the kitchen, because it's still him that is supposed to cook. So he's still there doing the thing. We'll just do it together, do his bathing, and before the siblings even wake up. I was expecting him to do that. So it was taking a long time, and my mind was already that when this boy comes, I'm going to start telling him again about distraction, about how to manage distraction. And then lo and behold, he came back all dressed, already all dressed. A lot of time we assume. Now imagine if he had come out, he was not fully dressed, and maybe he was in the toilet, he was not fully dressed, I would have thought, oh, he was distracted. And if I was not asking, seeking to know, I would just start my lecture on distraction management. Do you get the point? So many times we just assume, because we just conclude, and really I don't fault us much, because it is, they say that the leg when the person bring, now you they follow. So it is the leg the kids are brought over time that will just follow. But one of the things you need to realize as a parent is, as long as you are teaching them values, you've created a structure to modify a particular behavior you're not comfortable with, they are learning. So be confident that they are learning. Don't assume. Or seek to understand, ask to know, and listen, active listening. Now, the next step is, the first step I said, be aware of your emotions, because your emotions are going to always jump in the way. So be aware of how you are feeling. And I just shared a trick that I just got on the spot. I shared that trick with you that will help you be aware of your emotions. It's a trick that will help you always be conscious of your parenting vision, mission, and all of that. Then I talked about active listening. The next one is validate their feelings. That is one thing. Validate feelings. How do you validate feelings? You validate feelings by actually acknowledging your child's feelings, because I've said very many times that at the back of, is it at the back I want to say now? Behind behaviors, feelings are the propellers of behaviors. Feelings, our emotions are the things that actually make us do the things we do. You have two kids bickering is because they are angry with each other. That's why they are bickering. That is the feeling. Anger. Someone, it may be what is it called? Maybe, let me say, a lot of things. Maybe you see a child, they are doing should I say peer pressure, they're doing mumu for another child, it's getting you upset. You want to realize, what is it? It may be fear of losing that person's friendship. That is the feeling behind it. There is always a feeling. So what you want to do is, it is not the behavior, it is the behavior you want to modify. But for you to be able to modify the behavior very well, you need to get to that. You need to validate that feeling. You need to put yourself in your child's shoes. Say, okay, in this kind of situation, why would I do a thing like this? Okay, I would do a thing like this because of fear. Maybe, for example, your child tells a lie, right? So you want to ask yourself, if I was in my child's situation, in this kind of situation, why would I want to tell a lie? That is empathy. Why would I want to tell a lie? I want to tell a lie because of X, Y, Z. You need to acknowledge that their feelings. So even though you don't approve your child's behavior, you can tell them, okay, I understand how you are feeling. Yes, you are angry, you are sad, you feel guilty, you feel envious, you are afraid, you are you are excited. Maybe your child made a promise. You say, okay, because you were excited, out of joy, out of happiness, that was why you made that promise. So understand that feeling and acknowledge the feeling of your child. Every feeling is valid. Like I said, look at it. Which is the feeling that we feel should I use the word baddest that we don't like, the most destructive feelings? Let's look at envy. I shared it in the emotions mastery class. I said envy, a feeling, is also still valid. It has its advantages, it has its disadvantages. That is, every single feeling has their advantages, they have their disadvantages. Let's even look at sadness, for example, that we don't like. Feeling of sadness that we don't like. Advantages and disadvantages. It tells you that it's communicating a message. Every single feeling communicates a message. Sadness tells you that there is something missing. There is something missing. There is something missing. So it's something missing. That is what sadness tells you. Maybe I need to find a replacement. Maybe I need to learn to move on. That is sadness. You know? Envy also tells you there is something I want, I don't have. Sometimes it may not be that you may not even realize you want it. You may just realize someone who actually has it already. You feel, oh, I wish I have this thing. That is what envy teaches you. There is something I want. There is a position I want. There is something I desire. I want it. I don't have it. That is what envy. So every single feeling is valid. Anger, there is something I'm not comfortable with. There's something I do not like. There's something I'm not comfortable with. Something just happened. I do not like it. I'm not comfortable with it. Something is happening around me. Anger. So every single emotion is valid. Now, you don't understand. You are not even able to understand your child's emotion if you are not aware of yourself. Because the way you feel is going to interfere with the way you are going to interpret your child's what's happening around your child. It is why you need to be self-aware, very aware. Then the secondly is, if you're not listening actively to your child, you are not going to be able to understand how they are feeling. It is why you need to listen actively. And then when you listen to them, you should be able to say, okay, this is how they are feeling, and acknowledge it. Validating their feelings simply means acknowledging, telling, oh, you are feeling sad. I know you are sad. Before you can validate their feelings, you need to understand exactly what they are feeling before you can validate their feelings. Acknowledging their feelings or validating their feelings or understanding their feelings actually helps you know exactly what to do. If it's envy, then you know, oh, my child is actually feeling envious. Then you ask yourself, yes, are there times I'm envious? Of course, there are a million and one times you are envious of people. You see people, why do girls go and do BBL? Because they see people who have all the hourglass and they feel, oh my God, I wish I'm the one with the hourglass. And they go and do something about themselves. You know, that is it. You see someone who has doctorate, say, oh my God, I admire this person. I wish I have doctorate. You go and work on your doctorate. It's what envy does. You know, it either inspires you or it destroys you. So it is now when you have acknowledged that feelings, you have validated it, you are now able to express, okay, I wanted to go into collaborative problem solving. We'll not talk about that. The next one is perspective taking. Is what I've talked on and on about. Perspective taking, putting yourself in your child's shoes, remembering how you feel. Okay, my child is feeling sad. How do you feel when you are sad? How do you feel when you are sad? What goes through your mind when you are sad? Okay, let me use the one we can easily relate to. My child is angry. As a parent, how do you feel when you are angry? Remember, you are now learning to manage your emotions. And how old are you again? How old is your child? Your child is still very crude, in his very crude form. He has not learned to manage his emotions. So you can expect your child to go extreme with his emotions compared to you, that you have gone through a lot of experiences, you've got through a lot of natural consequences, logical consequences, artificial consequences, punishment, and all of that, and you are still struggling with your emotions. You have seen how your emotions have sabotaged you. You are still struggling with it. Let them know your child who is still learning, who is in his crude form. So perspective taking, able to put yourself, okay, if I'm the one feeling these emotions, what will be going through my head? How will I react? And all of that. Perspective taking. and then you express sympathy and empathy to your child. Yes, I understand exactly how you feel. I understand how you feel. That is it. Sorry, I understand exactly how you feel. That is empathy. Let your child know that I understand, not because you want to say it, because I actually understand exactly how they feel or how he feels. I remember when my son was telling me today that yesterday that he didn't compliment anyone. I just I just remember growing up, how some of these things would be, how some of these things would be heavy, how I would just make up my mind that okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and at the end of the day, I'm not able to. I get there and I'm not able to so do it. So it has empathy. It was easy for me to understand that because I'm aware and I'm using empathy as a tool. Okay, so I said express empathy, offer support and comfort. Offer support and comfort. Now this is it. Your child emotions, your child is feeling the way they are feeling and they are behaving because of the way they are feeling. What do you want to do? Be their comfort. When you are feeling that way, how would you want to be responded to? How would you want to be responded to? Let's look at it. When you are feeling certain emotions, how would you want to be responded to? It is how your child wants to be responded to. Someone close to me was sharing something with me about, said, oh, when the husband gets back, the husband is always angry. The older child is about 14 thereabout, she will be angry at the child, the daughter. You didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do that, you just got back from school, you went to sit down. That, initially a long time ago, she actually thought it was okay. She also would nag and all of that. But later when we started talking, started helping her build a parenting bank, then she realized, okay, empathy is a key tool. And she said she had to tell her husband, when you get back from work, what do? You get back from work, you are tired, you bathe and you go and sleep. That's the first thing you do. You bathe and you go straight to bed, so sleep. It is the same thing this girl is going through. She gets back from school. Remember, she goes to school because some children, high standard child, I don't want to, because I don't want to use the word perfectionist. There are children that are high standard. They are not rule breakers. They always want to be in the good book. Such a child she is. She has a school bus that picks her, so she wants to get to the bus top before the bus comes. So she is 5 o'clock, 4:30 she has woken up, she's dressed, she's ready for school. 6:30 she's already going, even though the bus will come 6:45 or 7 o'clock, she's already there waiting. And then after school she has a bit of extracurricular activities they do. By the time she gets back from school also, she wants to quickly revise. She has a lot, she wants to bathe, she wants to rest so that she can revise her book and all of that. Then the father comes and the father feels, oh, what do? You come back, can't pick. So the wife had to say, when you come back from school, what do? You bathe and you relax. Exactly. She's going through that same thing. Exactly what she goes through. You may think, oh, she too will be wondering, what do? The way you wonder, what does she do at school? The same way she wonders, what do? That is it. So how do you want to be treated when you have that particular emotions going on with you? How do you want to be treated? The same way you want to treat your child. The same way you want to treat your child. So before I continue, I wrote something down here that I want you to write down. If you're using the alarm clock system I shared a bit earlier, you want to put it: pause, connect, understand, and respond. Pause, connect, understand, and respond. Pause, connect, understand, and respond. Write it down. They are your steps for parenting with empathy. Learn to pause. Don't be jumpy. Remember, it is never an emergency. It is never an emergency. Because you know that it is not an emergency, you need to always pause. If you don't pause, you are always going to be jumpy. You are always going to be reactive. You are not going to make sense most of the time. You need to learn to pause. Pause and process. Pause and process. Pause. It is not an emergency. There is nothing that is an emergency. You need to learn to pause. The next thing is connect. Connecting simply means you are able to understand your child. Offer support at that time. You are not going there to judge. Remember, you want to connect, you want to modify that behavior, fantastic. But for example, first of all, you want to connect with them. You want to be a support. You want to pause. You want to listen actively to them. You want to tell them, okay, I'm listening to you. I trust you. You are telling the truth. I believe you. Then you want to understand exactly how they are feeling. You understand before you cannot respond. So pause, connect, understand and respond. Pause, connect, understand and respond. Write them down. So let's look at some practical, everyday practical scenarios that we require empathy, or our children require empathy. Let's look at it quickly. One time is a morning routine struggle. Morning routine struggle. In the morning, you see very many parents and children is always a tug of war. So you want to pause and ask yourself, okay, why is my child always having cranky mornings? Why do we have tantrums in the morning? What is the issue? You want to pause and actually understand, how do they feel? That is why in the Visionary Parent Academy, we wake them up in such a manner that they actually want to, they look forward to us waking them up. They look forward to the day. Like I said, I still haven't done it. I use alarm clock to wake my son, but what I want to do, I want to change the alarm clock to my voice. And why I haven't done it, I'm actually looking for a way to mix it with music. The same alarm clock, music that he kind of likes, the beats of the music. So I'm waking it up, like telling him that wake up is a new day, a beautiful day. You have a lot ahead of you. You have a purpose to fulfill today. You have it's a great day for you to I can't think straight now. I just want to wake him up with motivation, reminding him every day is another day for you to go and show kindness, for you to prove yourself, another day for you to do better than yesterday, another day for you to take your life and drive yourself, be in charge of your life, another day for you to live a life of purpose, another day for you to make good choices. I had one before, now I remember, I had one before. It was a long one. I think I'll look for it. I should look for it and share. It should be in the YouTube channel, but exclusive. I'll look for it and share. But it was very long. But this time around, it was very long. It was just our values. Just our values. We just expatiated and put them there. But this one, I just want to make it short, like a minute voice, strong, motivational, Then I'll put it there for him to always remember and know, oh, today, something that you can internalize. So why do they struggle? What is responsible for the struggles in the morning? You actually want to look at that. And during that time, you want to empathize. Okay, this is the emotions behind the struggles in the morning. So, for example, they don't want to wake up. You wake them up too early. If they wake you up too early, how will you feel? How will you feel? It is what it is. It is not shouting. They are just humans like us. The things that affect us affect them. It's just that, like I always say to parents, they don't have the big things we worry about. It doesn't mean what they worry about is not valid. What they worry about is the things at their age. It is what they worry. Like my kids now, they'll be catching birds here and there. The other day, my son caught a bird and the bird got missing. Bird. I'm saying bird. B-I-R-D. Flew away and he was sad. In my mind, I keep telling them that people should leave these birds alone now. If these birds there, you're not going to like it, because my son seemed to be, I don't know how to call him. He cares about animals a great deal. He will not let you kill an ant, things like that. So I always tell them that if these birds die, you will not like it. So in my mind, I'm wondering, they will carry bird, put in their room, put in the balcony, bring it downstairs, put things inside, cover the bed, disturb me. So if it's me, it's just to, oh, thank you, ma'am. If it's me, it's just to let the bird go. Why will I be carrying bird, catching birds? And if the bird dies now, they are sad. The birds fly, the birds fly away, they are sad. They are not relevant to me, but they are relevant to them. So the things we think are not relevant to us, they are the things that are relevant to us, because they don't have the big things to worry about. They don't have cars they are worrying about. They don't have, for women, they don't have husbands they are worrying about. They don't have husband side chicks they are worrying about. They don't have office bosses they are worrying about. They don't have A lot of things, they don't have these things they are worrying about. So the things we think are petty are the things they actually, those are the big deals to them. So you want to put yourself in their shoes in the morning and find out what is responsible for all the grumpiness and all of that. It is valid. When you understand the grumpiness, then you begin to put a structure in place. Then you come back to the academy and tell us, okay, my children, waking them up in the morning is a struggle because I've come to realize that it is because of X, Y, Z. So what do? We now create a structure to modify that. That is, if you cannot come up with your own. Another thing is meal time. Meal time can be a battle for so many families. Oh, like this evening, my 7-year-old, I ate eba, and my older son ate eba in the when they got back from school. He made eba for both of us because he likes eba. He likes to swallow a grade. So he wanted to eat eba. He made eba for both of us, and my daughter said she wasn't going to eat eba. Then my last one then said he wasn't going to eat eba. Okay, my daughter said he wanted to eat yam. Later, I said, okay, we'll eat yam for dinner. But because I ate the eba, we didn't eat the eba on time. We ate the eba, I think about past 4 or 3 bars. I was so full. My older son self was so full. My 7-year-old said he wanted to eat eba. Good and fine. He said he wanted to make it by himself. That was the thing that was in. That you trilling him. That was his trill. He wanted to make the eba by himself. I said, okay, fine. But hot water, I'm still very skeptical about you carrying hot water. So I'll just do it, make it for you halfway, and you go do your mixing anyhow it comes out. And another boiled yam, she later said no, she doesn't want to eat yam and yam porridge again. She wanted to eat yam and palm oil. I said, good and fine. We have yam that we actually plan to eat this evening. We plan to eat it after school. Fortunately, we got back, it rained heavily. I know a lot of catching up and all of that. We couldn't really go straight to eating, and we were supposed to even eat the yam porridge in the morning, but they took I just made snacks for them to take to school. So mealtime. So many parents, they believe that, oh, children, when they are not eating, when they don't eat a particular food, is because they don't have contentment, they are greedy and all of that. So what you want to do in that case, you actually want to empathize with your child. You want to ask yourself, if I say no to a particular food, why do I say no to this particular food? Empathy, it comes in. For example, I personally, I don't like eating yam so much. Why? Because I feel eating yam is stress. Yeah, I feel eating yam is stress, especially dry yam that we have now. You know, you go just sit down, just chew your mouth. But now it's just like fried meat. Eating fried meat. Is it not stress? No, let's be it's not stress. So if I have kids who also who also think eating yam is stress, then why do I need to now force them to eat it? Well, I'm outgrowing the seeing eating yam as stress. I'm outgrowing the phase. I'm beginning to eat yam like that. So mealtime, food. Children say they don't want to eat a particular food. You see, especially younger children, toddlers. You see parents, they are angry. They feel all sorts of manners. I remember when I said this on Facebook, I was literally like bullied. No, it's not always what you think. It is not always what you think. There are children, like my daughter, she doesn't like to eat eba, for example. She said because eba is not smooth. You don't like fufu. She doesn't like to eat semo. She says semo is tasteless. It doesn't mean she forbids these things. When she goes out, when we go to grandma's place, we go to friend's place, she eats them without complaining, because I have taught her that you can't go and inconvenience people. No, it's not right. So she eats them without complaining. I remember a time they had to spend 3 days at the friend's house. She ate eba. They were eating eba almost every day, and she trained them to eat eba every day. She ate eba. But when she gets back home, her comfort zone, just like you go out, you don't want to offend people. You say, okay, what they bring, you manage. But when you get back home, you say, I beg, make I eat, eat wetin dey hungry me. That is it. Empathy. Learn to put yourself in your child's shoes. If your child says no to a food, if you say no to a food, why do you say no to a particular food? It also happens to wearing of clothes. I remember there's a neighbor of mine that sells clothes, No, she bought a cloth. She says she has a boutique. No, children's things. She sells all sorts of manners. Then she had a particular cloth she actually bought for her daughter. It was so beautiful. I was saying, wow, this cloth is very beautiful, and it will be fine for my daughter too. So I looked at it and I realized the way the cloth was made. She was telling me, oh, take it for your daughter. I said, no, my daughter will not wear this kind of cloth. She will not like it. She was like, your daughter do not like this kind of cloth. Like, for what? and your daughter will tell you the clothes she wants to wear. Where is that one happening? And the funny thing, the irony of this thing was that I wore a boo gown, chiffon boo gown that was transparent, and I wore a leggings inside, a leggings up and down. And she said to me, you try, you wear leggings. I don't wear leggings. So leggings is so inconveniencing because it's so hugging. I don't like it. I can't wear leggings. I don't ever wear leggings. I wear jeans. I don't wear leggings. I said, oh, because it's a convenience. She said it. I said, well, I wear leggings. Most times I wear leggings under my clothes. Even when I'm tying wrapper, I'm more comfortable wearing leggings. This same person, less than 10 minutes later, less than 5 minutes later, was telling me I should force my child to wear clothes. I should be the one. So I asked her, I said, what if my child doesn't like certain clothes because they are inconveniencing to her? The same way leggings inconveniences you. The same way some clothes will inconvenience these children. They are not doing these things because they want to frustrate you. That is what we always, we assume. We don't seek to know. Bother to ask your child, why don't you want to wear this particular cloth? And they will tell you it is because of this, it is because of that. You will understand that their reasons are valid. Their reasons are valid. So that is that. Mealtime, choices, and all of that. Just understand homework frustrations. Yes, I'll just go through one or two, a few more homework frustrations also. Children during homework, you see parents are always having a lot of issues with children during homework. You are yelling, you are smacking, you just feel the child is dull, the child is a lot of things go on in your mind. Take your mind back to when you were your child's age. That is why I said empathy for parents comes very practical. It's not theoretical. It's not a matter of putting your leg in your child's shoes just theoretically. No. Take your mind back when you were your child's age. Take your mind back. You were struggling. Were you deliberately not answering questions? Were you deliberately failing your class questions in school? I know these things. I also used to get upset when my children fall short. But something I've come to realize, something I tell them is, I say, if you fail a question, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. But what will upset me is if you don't do your correction. That was what will upset me. You can do 10 questions and fail all the 10. It's not a big deal. It simply means that you have not learnt them. You don't know it yet. Because for all I know, having been in the classroom for a long time, I know that every child wants to be the best in class. It is what it is. Every child wants to be the best in class. So if you fail your question, it's not a big deal. It's not an offense. An offense is you not doing your correction, you not going back to learn it. So that is it. Homework time. Put yourself in your child's shoes. Remember when you were your child's age. Remember that time. Why did you struggle? Maybe your teacher was not explaining it well. The same thing your child is struggling with. The teacher is not explaining it well. The thing looks like magic. The same way your child was feeling. Everything. I remember about last year or 2 years ago, parents also had these issues. She was saying, her children, she called them for homework. Thank God we just did something on emotions mastery. She called them for homework time. They were just toddlers. I think 4 and 6, maybe 3 and 5. They were toddlers. And she called them, they were not cooperating, and she was upset. Then she remembered that no, it wasn't an emergency. And so she left them. She went to bathe them, gave them food. Okay, they should eat, bathe, eat. No, she don't even give them food. She just, let them bathe. After bathing, they probably will eat and come back to eat. After bathing, then she came back and saw that the children had slept off, which simply means that the children were struggling. The issue the children had was they were feeling sleepy. That was it. Because they were feeling sleepy, they were not able to cooperate, and she did not realize that. If she wasn't in the academy, for example, she probably would have gone beating, yelling, and all of that. So we should never, ever, not ever, ever assume. Homework frustrations is another time where parent needs to show empathy. You need to be able to put yourself in your child's shoes. You need to be able to remember when you were much younger, the subject you struggled with. Why did you struggle with those subjects? When your parents asked you to go and do something, then you didn't do it well. Why did you not do it well? You need to remember. Did you do that to frustrate your parent? No, you didn't do it to frustrate your parent. You didn't do well because of a couple of reasons. You need to be able to bring back those reasons and give it as an excuse for your child and be able to actually excuse your child. I have siblings conflict. I've referred to siblings conflict in passive. When they rival each other, when they conflict, when they bicker, it is because there's an emotion that you need to, first of all, understand, validate before you come in to fix it. Yes. Yes, a lot. Okay, like I said, I'm going to, like, let me, the last one I have, I have a lot of other ones. Transitioning between activities, another thing, is another one. You know, when parents tell children to stop, maybe you say, stop, it's time to go to bed, stop, it's time to do this. Children start hesitating, especially when children are much younger. It is always a struggle for parents. This is another place you need to show empathy. If you are doing something you enjoy doing so much as a parent, you know this particular thing, you enjoy doing it, suddenly you just want to transition to another thing. How would you feel? Will it be easy for you? No, it won't be easy for you. The same way your child feels. Now remember, you are refined. You have gone through refinement as a parent, so you actually have skills to transition more effectively, or transition better than your child. Your child doesn't have skills to transition yet. Now they don't have that skills, so you have the skills. It is why it is a little bit easy for you to transition. That is what it is. That is why your child, you have skills already. Your child doesn't have skills. Your child is in their crude form, while you have gone through a bit of refinement, or a lot refinement than your child. So the last one I was going to talk about is handling discomfort, illness, and all of that. I know that when parents, you take your children to the hospital, want to give injection, fighting, smacking, yelling, threatening, sometimes even lying to the child. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You hear, oh, it's not painful. You hear drugs. I see some drugs that some Chinese families giving to their children. They put the drugs inside a juice cup and they give the child. Nah, really? So for some parents, they hit, they yell. I understand you can get frustrated. The child is not well, it's already putting you under pressure. The child doesn't want to take their drugs, also putting you under pressure. It is why you also need to always be self-aware. Put yourself in the child's shoes. When you are not well, how do you feel when you see drugs? For all you know, when you are not well, drugs begin to smell for your nose. It's normal thing, it's what it is. You're not feeling fine, you begin to perceive drugs differently. Drugs are usually will take pleasant, or they will smell better. They no longer smell better because you are not well. The same thing your child is feeling. Now, because you're an adult, you actually have a strong why. You know you need to take these drugs. Your child doesn't understand these things yet. It's when you see your children, they throw drugs away, and then parents get frustrated. They resist injection and all of that. Parents get frustrated. If you are able to actually put yourself in your child's shoes, then it's easier for you to actually respond to your child. Remember, pause, connect, understand, and respond. Pause, connect, understand, and respond. Yes, this is where we are going to draw the curtains today on parenting with empathy. Remember, I said never ever assume. Never ever assume. Instead, seek to understand. Seek to understand. For all you know, your assumptions may be totally wrong. And one thing I said that I want you to actually take away is that when you listen to your child, when you come with a mindset, or you come with a prepared response for your child, and you listen to your child and you still give that response, you haven't listened to your child. Because when you now listen to the child, you realize that your response may actually not be it, which is 90% of the time not it. So this is parenting with empathy. If you're able to adopt empathy in your parenting, I assure you that your emotions are going to be in a very good place. Thank you so much for watching today. Yes, this is Parenting with Enemy or Rebel, and this was brought to you by the Visionary Parent Academy. If you want to join us, which I greatly recommend you join us, just leave a comment in the comment section that you want to join the Visionary Parent Academy, and we are going to tell you all you need to join us, because from next month we are going to be closed for the year till 2025. Thank you so much for joining me. Most importantly, do well to take action. Like I said, I'm going to share this in the Visionary Parent Academy. This material I use. We also have practical empathy worksheet, practical empathy worksheet, a worksheet that will help us take action the more. We are going to have it in the Visionary Parent Academy. Thank you so much. If I forgot to drop it today, please do well to remind me. Thank you so much for joining us this night. See you another time next week Friday. Hopefully before Friday, along the week you have a video, a pre-recorded video, and on Friday is our live class. Bye-bye.